Good morning. Good morning. How you doing this morning? I tell you, the sun is out where I'm at. I'm looking out through my kitchen window, and it's just absolutely beautiful. It is gorgeous. It's a day, not promised, but certainly a day I welcome. Hoping that you're having a good morning, that you slept well last night, that you woke up with a peace of mind, stayed on whatever it is that makes it important for you. My routine in the morning is I'm going to get up and say my prayer, get my little system together. And as I told you before, if you've been in this space with me before, I always say I act like my mom. Every day I get up and I act like I got someplace important to go. Even during quarantine, I might be in my house more so than not. And so I just say good morning to you. Good morning, good morning. Today we are going to talk about something that I find vitally important, but a lot of times we don't put enough emphasis on, and that's me. The me I am. And I don't know why I came up with me, but I know I've talked around it, like doing more things for yourself and all that kind of stuff. But in this instance, it's just talking about who are you as an individual, not as a collective source, but as an individual. Who are you? So I'm gonna ask you: are you stuck? Don't know, but I think most of us are stuck on something, whatever it might be. We're stuck on it, and that is for sure. The Are You Stuck series just really is trying to get you to come back into who you are as yourself and being able to make some decisions that affect you going forward. Everyone's talking about what quarantine has done for them, which is some people it may be isolation, for other people it may be that they're writing more, they're getting closer with family, they're doing things that basically put them with folks, in one way or another, either in their minds, in their hearts, or in the physicalness of being close, if it's family and you're in the house together, wherever you dwell. And so that would be that kind of closeness. But in this instance, I want to know, how close can you come to yourself? A lot of times we give so much away that we are left with little for ourselves, little time, little money, just little. We've been minimized. Not intentionally. Don't get me wrong. It's not intentionally. A lot of times our hearts are so big for others that we give away so much that we don't know good morning, Sharon. We don't know when we need to pull back. We don't know when we need to maybe be quiet or be in a position of understanding the aloneness. Because, you can be alone and not be lonely. I know I'd rather enjoy being alone at times, because that's when I can hear what I need to hear that's coming through. It's not like I'm listening to someone else. I'm really hearing what it is that I need to do. I really have time to make plans as to what might be important for that day, for that week, for that month, or that year, or years, because a lot of times we're not good planners. I've always been somebody that has to, write things down and plan things, and that's my personality. Whereas other people, they're on the fly. It's like somebody says, "Let's go," they'll go. But for me, I found that to be troubling. Now, every once in a while, you can get me to come with you on a dare or just a quick adventure. But for the most part, I try to plan out what it is that I have to do and all the things I need to cover within the time allotment. And sometimes we don't always do that. We don't always look at time as being important. But I think I said maybe 2 weeks ago, I have more time that's gone by before, it's behind me, than I could ever say I'm going to get going forward. There's no way I'm ever going to get the number of years that I have now. There's no way. I'm not Methuselah. I'm not Moses. I'm not all those folks that were granted, lengthy years on the earth. So I have to strike while I'm here and while I can, and hoping that I'm leaving a legacy of vital importance for somebody. I figure even if there's only one person that comes into this space with me every day, then that's one person I'm reaching that I wouldn't be reaching if I'm not doing it at all. So I say that's God's grace on me, and it's also God's grace of what He's given me to give to someone else. I know I'm not big on TV, but I've been kind of watching the news, and someone sent me the tape of George Floyd, and you heard him begging for his life, and I said, man, most of us, if we were in a position where our lives were being taken away from us, as that was, wouldn't that be just so devastating? And I actually had written somebody back, and just that actually wrote me privately, and basically dealing with that issue. And I said, we're not supposed to know when it's our last breath, but you see, that sometimes people have been forced, to just realize that they're going to say, I'm through. And that's basically what he did. I want to say that when it is I'm through, that I've certainly known I've done some things that were good for other people that were still here. And I left a legacy that certainly said that I did my best. I did my best of knowing who I was for whom I came in contact with. And sometimes you don't even have to see people face to face and not be able to say that you've certainly assisted them. So anyway, we are going to talk about me, and in this case, the me, which is used by a speaker that usually refers to herself or himself as the object or the verb or the preposition. So, who are you? What is your me? What is your me? I can honestly say my me has a lot of things tied up into it. And I'm proud of them. There's probably some things that I'm not proud of, but it's still me. And nonetheless, it doesn't take away anything from who I am. It's just that I have to acknowledge who is the me I am. And so that means I have to take pause. I have to take inventory. I have to look out for what it is that I want, that I need. And a lot of times we don't do that. So I have a poem today. And this poem I got it off of Pinterest, and it just says it was written by E.H. So there was no name attached to it, but I liked it. And it says, you're not your age, nor the size of clothes you wear. You're not your weight or the color of your hair. You're not your name or the dimples in your cheeks. You are all the books you've read and all the words you speak. You are your croaky morning voice and the smiles you try to hide. You are the sweetness in your laughter and in every tear you cry. You're the songs you sing so loudly when you know you're all alone. You're the places that you've been to and the ones that you call home. You're the things that you believe in and the people that you love. You're the photos in your bedroom and the future you dream of. You're made of so much beauty, but it seems that you forgot when you decided that you were defined by all the things you are not. Sometimes we are defined we're more defined to us, the me, by the things that we haven't done, that we haven't looked at, that we haven't achieved, that we haven't, cared about, we're defined by the things that we're not, as opposed to being defined by the things that we have and have done, have loved, have cared about, all those things. Good morning, Erica. Good morning, Miosha. Mikosha. I'm running fast. But anyway, that is a great poem, because the essence of it is that it's not that we don't have things that we should be proud of. It's that most of the time we focus on the things that other people have highlighted or we ourselves have highlighted about what we haven't done, who we are not, what we don't look like, what we do not wear, it's always the don't side. We need to be on the do side. We need to be on, wow, I'm all those other things. I'm the people I love. I'm the pictures. I'm the kindness. I'm the caring. I'm the those things. Those things. That's the me we want to talk about. So as I do, I always break down what these things could be. So of course, for the M of me, I have manage. It says to take care of and make decisions about someone's time, money, goings, comings, their life, their religion, their faith, their control over things, their behavior in things, their use of carefully and not wasting time, using things carefully and ensuring that they don't waste time. That's the management of the person that you are. And it also says succeeding at something. And it says, all those things pretty much attest to who we are. They really look at what we've done. But it's also talking about manage, and we have to manage ourselves and not be managed by others. So therefore we have to put me first at some point in time. I think you still have to consider having the people around you and the people that you love, your family, your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, everything, even your job folks, all those things. But at some point, you have to be able to stay me enough to know that you are managing you and you're not being managed or mismanaged. Sometimes we get in a position where we're just mismanaged. We've given up everything to someone else, and they use us for those things, and we all know what some of those things could be. They don't even have to be named. But the point I'm making is that sometimes, good morning, Carla, we just know that that people can use us, and it's not that we want to be used. It's that we feel that that's the way to go forward, that they needed us in that way. And so we do it. And then that becomes what I call habitual. So then we're constantly, my mother always used to say when we were coming up, is that the way you start is the way you finish. Well, I've kind of modified that over the years, because I'm honest in saying that sometimes you have to say, yeah, that's where I started, but this is not working well for me. So it's not how I can continue. So sometimes that's how you understand it, because, the marriages break up, the friendships break up, you leave a job, you leave, you tell your kids to move out. All those things are just things that are just decision-making things that just says, I have to have a change of behavior. And sometimes the change, good morning, Lavenda, sometimes the change of behavior helps you be clearer thinking, more for you as opposed to what other people expect for you and want for you and appreciate. They can sometimes appreciate you better because you stood up for yourself, because you are in control. But if you give your current control up and you become mismanaged by others, sometimes it is hard to take that back. Because people say, well, you've been doing that. When I was counseling, I used to have couples come in and he or she, would say, well, they've changed since we got married. Before we got married, they brought the wine, they had money, they bought me anything I wanted. We went everywhere. We did this, we did that. But then by the time they present for you, life had set in. The fantasy was over. The honeymoon stage was over, and it became down to, okay, we got bills to pay. We have kids to raise. We have family coming in. We have all these things change the dynamic. And so sometimes you have to understand that when you're growing, you have to grow together. But first you have to be grown and unto your own. You have to be grown. You have to know who you are. You have to understand what you expect of yourself. And if you don't, it may take you a while to get there. But when you get there, for many people, it's absolutely a release. It's a good morning, T. It's a total release to you. It's almost like the reveal is there. You know who you are all of a sudden. It's like, I don't want this marriage anymore. The children need to move and find their own place. The job, this job is toxic to me. Got to leave it. Okay, you look for another job. You start changing things once you've come back into your own management. I think there was a song at one time, Under New Management, and it just talked about the fact that sometimes you have to realize that what the plane you're on is not, it's not level for you. Okay, so you have 1 foot up and 1 foot down. Okay, or you're shifted to one side instead of being balanced. And so what this talks about is that under new management is that you took it back over. You took back your own control. You took back your own behavior, how you were going to behave versus how someone else is telling you must behave. And a lot of time you find this going on in relationships where there's abuse, And I tell you right now, if you're in that kind of relationship and you come into this space, I'm going to tell you, go find help immediately. There are people out there who can help you get out of the situation you're in. Because I know they were saying under quarantine that the number of calls coming in for domestic violence has increased greatly, probably 50 to 75%. Up from the calls that were coming in prior to the pandemic. And a lot of times we need to find a way to escape. But if you can't escape into yourself and be able to say, I can make decisions, then that may be a real concern. So anyway, that's the M of me is under your management. Manage. How are you doing that? And then the E of me is endorse. And, it just came to me. It says endorse, declaring one's public approval or support of someone or something. It's a signed check also. And, it could be, the urban sign check, meaning that, I endorse that dude. I endorse that lady, blah, blah, blah. So that's what it could be. So it's underwriting. It's like you're validating. You're saying something that's supportive. You're really looking at that you subscribe to whoever this thing or that person is. And it's really big when it comes to voting, or someone's getting ready to run for office. They're looking, will you endorse them? It's also when you go and you sign, like you have some kind of contractual agreement with someone, that's also an endorsement. But, in the area of the me, I'm looking at, do you endorse yourself? Do you endorse yourself? We spend so much time, so much of our day is spent on external endorsements. Yeah, I'm going to go buy that. The TV told me to do it. 2-for-1 over at Olive Garden looks great. I'm going to go buy it. Basically, they got you to endorse their advertisement to come in and buy their food. We're constantly bombarded with other people desiring our support, desiring our endorsements, desiring our money and our time and all of those things that pretty much talks about, the products that people sell us and that we buy. And sometimes it's not just the product of something that you can eat or wear. It could be places that you could come to or people you could hang out with, or it's just come to this job, come over here, do this, do that. The endorsement sometimes becomes so overwhelming that we don't even realize that we've given up our own control to say, I'm not endorsing anything. I'm going to save a little money. I'm going to turn off the TV. If that's the only way I see that people are pulling on me, or I let the advertisement lure me. And we're all capable of being lured. Don't get me wrong, we are. And sometimes the allure is good. We want to be allured, but we don't want to be. Good morning, Maurice. We don't want to be put in a position where we end up so what I would call caught up in the endorsement of someone else and and treating their advertisement like it was just so special, and going for, the 5 hamburgers, or going 2 for 1 at the movies. Or sometimes those things are good outlets, but they cannot consume who you are. They cannot take over the fact that they want your endorsements. They want you to keep coming back. Because then it becomes, a problem, especially if it's a lot of money and it's a lot of your time and it's a lot of your energy. Because we spend a lot of time and energy and, just going and doing that we ultimately have lost something. And that's why I always tell people, if you really want to find out where you're at and you're honest, because sometimes we're not as honest as we should be. If you're really honest and you do pros and cons on your money and your time and your energy, I tell you, you will be so surprised at how much you give away. The me that's gone. You can't do anything with it. Even the moment I'm talking in right now, it's already gone. I'm on to something else. And even if I wanted to capture it again, I cannot. I cannot do it. Good morning, Kiwanis. Can't do it. So I have to talk about how can I spend my time? How can I endorse myself enough that I can say no? That I can say I don't want to do that. That I can say, well, maybe next time. And be okay with it. Because a lot of times, because we've endorsed people so much, they don't expect us ever to say no. They expect us to continue to bring the money. I was in a store the other day and purchasing something in like one of the hair stores. And I saw that there was a packet of face masks. And so I asked the attendant about it. I said, these face masks, why do you have them so high? And she says, oh, that's the way they come. I said, okay. They were like 10 in a pack, and they were $15, $14.99. I'm gonna put the penny on it, okay? Because by the time you pay the tax, it's more than $15 for a 10-pack of paper masks, face masks. And sometimes, once again, they put them right there in front of you. They want you to endorse by purchase, okay, by way of purchasing those things. And what I'm saying to you is that sometimes we have to just step back long enough to make a better decision about the me you are. The me. Do I need them? Instead of having paper, maybe a cloth one, maybe cotton. Okay, sometimes we just have to just say, I can do this if I just step back long enough to take another breath and breathe the breath that says that's a better way going forward. A lot of times we don't. We get outside the store and we purchase more than we needed. We go to the restaurant and we, buy too much food. Then we don't even eat it all. Or we buy 2 for 1, knowing darn well there's only one of us, and what we're gonna do with the rest, So sometimes it's just getting back to what endorsement means. I want you to, instead of giving the endorsement away, bring it back to yourself. Keep it, knowing that you don't need everything that someone's trying to sell you. Be it and realize that in the balance is your money, your time, your self-respect, your self-honor, your self-appreciation. And I'm not telling you not to love and care and certainly support people. But I'm saying it can't be to the point where it's been one of inundation, one of overwhelming behavior, to the point where you have less money for yourself, less time for yourself, less attention to yourself, less. All those things, just say less. What can I do with it? So you have to go forward. And so those are the me's. And I only have 2 questions today. The first question, who manages you? Who? And be honest. Is it Prime at Amazon because you get the free shipping? Just asking the question. I'm going to ask you this question. Are you stuck? There you go. It could be Prime. It could be, some place to go eat. It could be, the liquor store, whatever it is. Whatever it is, who manages you. Could be people. Could be the job that mishandles you, give you more work than they give other people work. Give you less time to do it, so your suspensions are shorter to get it done. Who manages you, And the last question is, can you endorse yourself? Honestly, if you were to do the pros and cons, could you endorse yourself? Could you say, I can? Or, no, but because I got this to do and I have that to do. I have this place to go to, that place to go to. I have to do this for somebody else. And, and let's face it, some things you have to endorse. You have to support, your parents. I still wish my mom was here, my mom and dad. I would be supporting them to the hilt. And so therefore, yes, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to do as much as I can to help manage their way, to have made their lives easier. Because as you get older, you do need people in that respect. But what I'm saying is that if you're still in control, still making decisions for yourself, are they sound? Are they yours? Do you understand the importance of them? And I figure if you're in your teens, a lot of times we want more attention from others. Your teens and your 20s, your 30s, you may get a little bit better sense. Your 40s, you probably, married close to it or something, or as my aunt used to say, shacking and packing, but in a position to really make some decisions. When you get to be 50 and 60 and then you're in the 70s and your 80s, by that time, experience and wisdom is coming. You probably got some stories to tell you about how you mismanaged, you let people mismanage you, or you gave your endorsement up for a lot of things. Good morning, Brett. And so that would be the understanding, is that, you just gave it up. And what I'm saying to you is don't give up anything. Give up nothing. Only do things you really want to do. Only endorse things you really want to endorse. And know who you are. That's the me. I'm trying to get everybody to get in touch with me. Not you, not her, not him. Me. And sometimes we don't do it. Good morning, Cassandra. We don't do it. We're so busy trying to be important to others. And sometimes you can find out how important you are to others when you need something and they can't produce. But you've been there all the time. Those are probably the times that would be certainly a con, not a pro. The fact that you have been there, but you have to analyze the circumstances, what happened in you, the fact that you gave and gave and gave, because a lot of times when we give something away, it's something that we're getting in return, even if it might be minimized, even if it might be less than what we deserve, but we give it away anyway. And what I'm saying to you is sometimes we just have to pull back, get back into who we are, understand the me of me, and not constantly giving it away that other people can abuse it or misuse it and put us in a position where we feel less about the me we are. I just truly believe that we can do it. And to me, quarantine is the time that we could have done it really well, because we can come out with a new attitude of how we're going to go forward. But it's a learning thing. Let's face it, this is all learning. A lot of people have not learned to take care of themselves. They've only taken care of others. A lot of people do not understand their own feelings. They only worry about the feelings of others. A lot of people put themselves in not where they want to go, but where other people force them to go. And I put force like this. But at some point in time, you got to ask yourself, okay, when is it my turn to be me? To worry about where I go, what I do with my money, how long I stay when I'm gone. When I was married, I used to, I got to be honest. I'm going to be honest now. I used to just hit the ceiling when my husband wanted to know where I was going. and how long I'd be there, and when would I be back to do X, Y, and Z. And it would make me mad because when I would ask him that, he said, when I get back here. So once again, I realized that as time went on, I understood that the dynamics of what we started with was not the good dynamics of what we progressed into. And sometimes you have to be honest about the fact that you can't control everything like other people, but you can control yourself. And so that's why I came up with management and endorsement. Manage yourself, endorse yourself. Understand who me is. The me. That's not the we. That's not the you. That's not the her. That's not the him. It's not the them. It's none of that. It's you by yourself. Managing, endorsing, being honest with yourself about what you no longer want to do. Or even sometimes maybe you still want to do it, but maybe you should ask yourself, should I still be doing it? Should I still be, almost paying homage to people? Excuse me, I don't want to bow down to anyone. I just think that would lower the standards for myself and give them more of me than what they deserve. We have to make decisions, and the decision should be based on how we feel about it. And if we're not feeling well about it, we need to move into that realm. So I'm going to read this poem again because I do feel that it's wonderful enough. And it's written by E.H. and I found it on Pinterest, but I don't know who E.H. is, but it's not mine. But I do like it because it really talks about, all the things that just says the me of yourself. It says, you're not your age, nor the size of clothes you wear. Good morning, Darlene. You are not on weight. You're not your weight or the color of your hair. You are not your name or the dimples in your cheeks. You are all the books you've read and all the words you speak. You are your croaky morning voice and the smiles you try to hide. You are the sweetness in the laughter and every tear you've cried. You're the songs you sing so loudly when you know you're all alone. You're the places that you've been to and the one that you call home. You're the things that you believe in and the people that you love. You're the photos in your bedroom and the future you dream of. You're made of so much beauty, but it seems that you forgot when you decided that you were defined by all the things you are not. And once again, a lot of times we feel we're less than because it's things that people have thought about us, told us, or we just have conjured up, because sometimes we can make up stuff about ourselves that is not true, but because we're so busy being all that for them that we've lost ourselves. And so I love this poem. I really think it's good. And as I said, I found it on Pinterest. There's not even the name of the poem, but because it was me, I was searching for things that really dealt with the individual, the person that they call themselves. That is me. It's the verb, the object of the verb or the preposition. So I want you to be verby and prepositionist about the me you are today, starting today. Understand that no one can change you. No one can take anything away from you unless you give it up. Okay? You don't have to endorse anything or things, any places or any people. You don't have to do it. You can come back into self and only endorse what you want to endorse. Only go places you really want to go and be with people that you really want to be with. So that is my session today on the me of me. Nothing else. There's no gimmick to the stuff that I do. I tell you, every morning I wake up, either at night I do it. Last night I did this before I lay down to go to bed, and I had worked all day yesterday. So for me, it's just a gift. This was just given to me that I share. And so my prayer is that it will go out, it will be well used, and that you would share it. You know, I do have a YouTube channel, and all of these videos are now on YouTube under Sandra L. Winborn, PhD. They're all there. Good morning, Miss Rosie. They're all there. They're all, I swear to you, all of them. I've done my research. I came, you know, with my counseling background. I came as a person that really has looked at being an adult educator, and the whole process of Don't Look Back, and LOT, which really talks about launching opportunities in transition. That's what we are. We're launching the opportunity to re-rig ourselves forward. And then if you take the word, the acronym of the word, it spells out LOT. And so, you know, LOT, parcel of land, okay? Maybe someplace you live, someplace you dwell. So that's the lot. And so I want you to really look after your lot. Okay. And then on the bottom of all this is, what are your multiple intelligences that could really get you going to help re-rig you to go forward, re-rig you to be renewed, revitalized, you know, remissioned, recalculated, just a whole bunch of you know, means I'm come around again. Okay. So I'm here for you daily, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Central Time. And I want you to make it a me day. You know, I'm not telling you not to interact with other people. I'm not telling you not to go to work. And if you're at work, wonderful. But I'm not telling you anything that's a negative. All of it's positive, because you're going to put the me in the middle of all of that. And guess what? You're going to be like a radius of good stuff going out, because the me is centered. The me is shored up. The me is ready to do whatever the me has to do, regardless of what comes at you, you know. I'm going to tell you this reminds me of when I was little. I remember the Little Rascals. And I want to say it was, you know, I don't know if it was Alfalfa or one of them, but they were going off. Good morning, Francis. They were going off, and they decided that they were going to get Alfalfa, or one of them. And they were doing spitballs. But then it turned on them, okay? It all turned on them upside down, because they stopped. He said, no, don't do it. And they did it anyway. And so sometimes you just never know what you might be dodging during the course of a day. But what I'm telling you is, be ready, be prepared. You know, have your armor, have your sword and your armor that you're ready to do, your shield ready to do whatever needs to be done. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Remember the me you are. And I'm going to ask you this question on the way out. Are you stuck? We're all stuck. Get over it. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Share this. I appreciate you. Bye-bye.